Hello, I am Sajjad from OneCode. This is another video in the part of our bubble training. I think in previous videos we started a landing page where we um, initiated the things we covered was initiating a bubble app, then using Figma to import design files, and um, then we moved to some design tutorials or design instruction using bubble groups and reusable elements. We actually completed the header design um, in the previous trainings or in the previous videos of this landing page design. This was the header that we designed, and then we reused it in the index page. Now I will proceed with the design of the rest of the page. Let us go back to the page and see what was completed. So as you can see, this bubble page is showing the header. The header part of the design was done, but we need to start on the other stuff as well. So let's start with the hero section. This first section, usually on the websites below the header, is called the hero section, and we are going to proceed with this one. Now, if you have seen the previous videos or video, you will see that we have used we learned about the horizontal um, orientation or kind of a row alignment of a group, and then also how to use groups to actually design this. Just let me quickly recap on that one. This was our header, and what we did was put these elements in row containers, and then these in the row containers as well, and we then also put them under parent groups to add that spacing and have this kind of a look and feel according to the design. Now let's go to this the hero section part. As this design was imported from Figma, I would like to first clear a few things out. As you can see, this is hero image. What hero image is, it's a group. Definitely we want a group here, but we don't want it to be called hero image. Let's call it hero section. That's it. And then we have this group. If I quickly try to analyze like how I'm going to design this, there is an image at the background, so we would need to set either in this group image as the first element, which will go behind all the content, but we can also send the background of a group as image as well. Then as you can see, there is a gradient apply on image. Over the image, it's dark here, and then it's slightly become lighter here. We are not sure about the color, but we will see it in the design. Then if you talk about the content, I can see let's say it's a heading, it's a body, there are buttons, then this button, and it seems like they are in a a column container. Everything is vertical. So yeah, that's how I'm planning to design it in the bubble. So let's get started. First thing we need is this group. I'll keep this group, this mask group. We don't need this. It came from bubble. Then this blend thing, this one, this is again it's showing like this, and you will see it will have a lot of rectangles and shapes. Actually bubble tried to, when we imported this, bubble tried to create these things and these things, which is not right. So let's delete this one as well. So this is our hero section now, um, and this is our main group where the content is placed. But first let's fix that background image. So hero section width and height, I think it's static. I don't want to if you go to the design, this hero section is taking the width of the um, whole page. Maybe this group here, it's not taking the width of the whole page, like it's maybe half of that, or maybe limited to some size, but this is taking the width of the whole page. So what we are going to do here is, rather than having fixed width for the hero section, I will say this will align to parent, which means whatever the parent is, parent is also fixed. I don't want that. I want parent, which is basically the page itself. I want it to be a column, so everything in the page will come as vertical. And then there is this header section, then our hero section. Now the hero section itself is saying its width is for 1440. I don't want that. Let's try to make it a percentage one. And even if I think you don't do that, if you, let's say the minimum width would be 0 and maximum would be um, infinite, it's same as setting your width as 100% of the parent container. So if page index is taking, let's say, 1200 width, the screen it's it's displayed on, then the hero section will take as 1200 as well, because we haven't set fixed width to content. And so that means whatever is inside it will take the width of that. Or we didn't apply any kind of maxed width constraint or min width constraint. 0 means if there is nothing, it will take, or when screen is squeezed or it doesn't have enough space to fit in, it can go to 0, which is unlikely because it is inside the hero section, and hero section will probably be, even on mobile devices, will be taking width not 0. So there is this group. Let's keep this group because I want to use this group, but these things are outside the group. I don't want that. Maybe this group. Okay, yeah, this is the whole group actually, for this section, which is fine. Let's start with first thing. Let's hide it for now. So we have an empty hero section. The first thing I want is to hero section to take this image as the background. So let's go to the design and see what's here. If I see the design, I have image, I have this rectangle which is a background image. Then there is mask applied here with blending with this one, and also I think there is this blend. But what we are going to do here is export this rectangle, which is, I think, image imported from somewhere. So let's do that. Let's export it. Landing page design, hero, let's name it hero, background, which is fine. If I go then to my design, there are two ways to put the background of this. Either I can put an image element here and fixed it, make it height and width same as the hero section, and set the image, and then try to design everything on top of it. But there is another pretty cool way to do it. You can actually you can set image as the background style, as you can see here. And let's try to upload an image here. Here I think, yeah, this is the image. So if I try to import it here, I think it will import this image here. So yeah, you see the image is here now, which is fine. This is what we wanted. And if I go and try to run this, it will show the background image here. Okay, it will take some time to load. That's the thing with the images. If you are loading image on the pages, it will take. See, now we have that image here. If I go back to design, you see everything is, this group is not on the left side of it. It's aligned with this one, which is, I think, which is fine. This width of the whole, I would say the layout of the page from here to here was 1120. We saw in the last tutorial where we designed the header. Even if you go and try to measure it, it will be 1120. So whatever is coming below our below in our page should have this 1120 width. I don't want anything go beyond that. As you can see here, it's again not going beyond that. Again, these images, these text are aligned on 1120. So what we are going to do here is let's go back here, and this was the group, the text group, or the buttons group. What I'm going to do here is put them in a different group and then fix that group's width to be 1120. So I can say let's put this one in either a fixed group or a row group. Let's place this as a row container, as I want everything to be horizontal. Layout, what I can do is here section minimum height is set here. What I can do with this group is it's a row container, and what I want is the maximum width to be 1120. I don't want it to go beyond that. Right now it's fixing its width to its content, which is fine, but even if we set it like this is also going to work. Okay, so now we know that this is 1120, but the other thing that we need to set is its alignment to be not the container alignment, but under the hero section it needs to be centered, right? So now it will come with 1120 starting from center, because these things were also centered with 1120 width. So this is fine. The other thing we need to fix here is if we go here in this group, now I want my design to be exactly like this, look like this. If this group width stays the same and then the inside labels with this font size has the same space to fill in, then it will take, it will appear on two line, because then the font will not have the enough space to write everything on the one line. So I want this width constraint here. Let's try to calculate the width constraint, like how much width is given to this group. This is 625 350. So what I can do here is I can set its width to be 650, but again I don't want it to be a fixed container. I want it to be a column container, and then its width, rather than fixing it as a fixed width, I will have it as a minimum width or maximum width, right? I can also play around it. Now you see, if I reduce the width, for example, if it is running on smaller devices, it's not resizing its elements. So let's fix that. What we can do is let's keep it for 625 width. Height is something I will not minimum height 320 is fine, but it should fix its content height, its height to its content. So now this is group. This is another group inside it. I don't know what's inside this group. This is a rectangle. Maybe it's trying to it's trying to give this thing. So let's do one thing. This is a rectangle, this is a text. What we can do is have this is a text and give it a background, rather than having to draw a separate shape for it. And I don't want a separate group for it. It's good for some people like to put everything in a group, but that don't that's not required, and I don't prefer to do that, because it messes up my hierarchy of things, and then there are extra group without any purpose. I just want to keep the things to minimum. So let's do one thing, ungroup these elements, and then after that what I'm going to do, And for this group, this is sorry, this text, let's do one thing. Let's try to find the width and height that we want to set for it, but rather than fitting its width and height, and this is the design principle that we are going to follow, what I'm going to do is um, set this text and try to add padding from left and right and top and bottom. What it will do is that when there is not enough space, we also have to think about responsiveness. When things are going to get squeezed, what it will do is that it will not have enough space. Then it might go to 2 lines or 3 lines. Then in that case, I still want it to look like this with this background and having these padding around it. So yeah, that's the reason behind not fixing it as a not fixing its width. Now if I go back here, what I'm going to do is appearance, and um, the layout I want it to be um, for the text, I want it to be centered aligned vertically, but for the text you can only do that horizontally. So what I am going to do here is do not give it a fixed width. So this is how it will take, but um, it should take fixed width to content, which means it should take the width of the content, and same should be applied for the height as well. So yeah, minimum height, I don't want it to have that. Now what I'm going to do here is for the, let's say for the padding, let's add 10 from the top, not 100. And this looks enough, but maybe more than what's in the design. So bottom 5, left is I guess 20, and you can calculate these things from the design, but the point here is to make it look like the design. So if I click this this group, I will be able to see its width, and I will be able to see what's like its difference, what's its distance from the edges. As you can see, the text is like 20 pixels on the left, 20 pixels on the right, so we are pretty good there. Then this rectangle at the background color, I don't want have a separate component for this. What I'm going to do is set the background of the label itself. Line spacing is again this is not what we want, but let's skip that. So white color with 15%. So this is done. Now this is something we have achieved from the design. The other thing is the font of this text. As I said, I want to keep everything in style. So let's see what's in the style. Can we say it's a body? Maybe it's different from body, but if I try to fit it as body, then 416 pixel, it's a bit bigger than body. So I can define a style for it, and wherever we are using this, we can have it the same way, but it's the only instance. So I'm going to use the body, but tweak it a little, like it was I think 14 pixels here, and because in the standard the style that we use, there is no padding, so we'll have to do that again. 5 from top, bottom, then 20, and then 20 from right, and then set its text color to be white and its background to be white with 15% opacity. So yeah, this is fine. So it is now saying body overridden. That means you used a style, but you you have override it, which is fine. Maybe we can have a different style, as I said, but for now it looks fine. This group I don't want here. Then we have the other group, which is the text, actually, this one and this one, and then this I think button group. So for the text, for the first text, this one, the heading text, I want it to set as my heading, and heading is basically, as this is appearing on the dark background, it's not, text color should be light, so it will again override the style. This one should be body. I'll have to override the style here as well. I'll go to the buttons later, but let's try one thing. As you see, this is going outside of its parent group. Let's see why it's happening. So if you go to the parent group, it's saying its width is constrained to 625. We apply this constraint from the design. So for the text inside it, I also want it to appear inside the inside this container. But let me verify. Okay, this is 625, so maybe in the design it was 645, so I want it like this. So take the width of your parent, not define it for yourself. Then again, not needed for this one as well. So yeah, we have this and this. Now if we talk about minimum height, as I said, it should take its height from from its content, and so should this component as well. So I'm going to remove the height, so this is fine. Minimum width, we set it to 625, which is great. It doesn't really matter in this case. Then we have okay, now if we talk about the buttons, this is a primary button as we have used here in the previous demo. So I'm going to use the style. This here is a variant from the design. It's not a button, it's a text, maybe body large text, and then there is icon. So I can design this group or this thing in a group on Bubble, but let's fix this one. Discover more is a text. I don't need a text here. I need a button here. I don't need this one either. So this is only a group now. I'll delete this, and this frame is a group actually. Then our premium video is the text, and then the icons here is the shape. So I will either use an icon or I will use an image here to give it that kind of a look. But first let fix the button thing. I can go and drag a button from here, and now this button should appear under this group. Yeah, so this is a button, and I want to fix the title, which was, I think, discover more. Yeah, but I don't want it to take fixed width and height. But to fix that, we'll first have to fix the fixed layout for the parent. So let's call it a row, and for it we will say 0 and fixed width to content, and then minimum height. I don't want to set it. I want it to pick it from the style. For its height, I want to take it from the content, and it will do that. Now this is a group. Now we can rename this group to be our promo video. Let's say name it promo video group. Naming is important. Later it will help you. Okay, this text is again fixed width and height. I don't want to do that. For its parent, it's saying fixed width and height. Now either I can keep it like this, or I can say you need to be a row group and take your width from your content, and height is, again, I don't want it to be like this. And for this text height, I again don't want it to be fixed height, but then it has to appear like center aligned in the parent group. Let me fix that so it is centered aligned. Now I want this group's to width not to be fixed, and let's say fixed width to let's try to fix it to its content. Now this group is like this. One more thing that we need to fix here is this promo video is we need to add an icon here like in the design, which was let's say add an icon. I have to here I can add an icon. Okay, so this is the icon, but it was kind of a play button, right? So let's use that, but it's taking as a primary icon, which is standard styling. So either I can use dark icon or contrast icon. I think we discussed in the previous video. So let's use the contrast icon, and let's reduce its width and height like this. Now this group it has all the components, but the layout is a bit messy. Maybe there is a gap here. So what I'm going to do here is add a gap between them, which can be a row gap. For these components, they are smaller in size. You can have things fixed, but it doesn't really matter. You can have a dynamic layout and the look and feel would be the same. So and as you can see, the one thing I'm seeing here now, there is a space here as well. So what I'm going to do is for the parent group where this button and this group is residing, I will add a space of, let's say, 20. I can measure it from the design, but let's say add it 20 or maybe 30. Now this space is fixed. The other thing that we need to fix here is the vertical spacing here. So to fix that vertical spacing, I'll go to this group and I say have this spacing of, let's say, 24. So yeah, it's varying, but we'll keep it 30. So now everything is spaced out, right? So this is what we wanted. Let's refresh this and see how it appears. Yeah, okay, so this is fine. The one thing that you'll see here is that this vertical positioning of this group is not right here, as you can see. So first I think we need to fix the height issue of this one. If you see this this image, which is this one, which is all your hero section, its height is 694, right? And what's the height we are using? We are using the height as hero section's height is minimum height 694, which is fine. So why it's not appearing like this one on the original design? So one thing to consider here is that your header is here. It's again, it shouldn't be like this. Okay, minimum height, let's keep it that way. Then your hero section is taking the height of minimum 694. I don't want it to take it to fixed width to content. Maybe we can make it a fix, but I think then in that case, if we go to the smaller devices, it will again be a problem. So one thing we can do is we can say the vertical alignment of this should be like this parent group should be which is already centered, which is fine, but this one is inside it and this one is appearing in the center of it, but the vertical if you look here, the vertical spacing or the vertical alignment, it's going a bit down here, which is not right. That's we need to fix here. And if for the hero section you look, its alignment, it says align to parent, and then the group is like centered in this one. The height is static for this one, sort of, because we have kind of defined the minimum height, and if we haven't defined any maximum height, then it will take the maximum height of like whatever the space is available. But right now this is the space available. It actually is trying to reduce its its size, but it's not able to go beyond it. So let's try do one thing. Let's try to fix height to its content, whatever is inside, but other than that, what we have to do is change it to not to align to parent, maybe a row, because I don't want it to be aligned to parent, but take its constraint or width or height from the content. So this is your hero section. Now it's a row container, and what we want is horizontal alignment to be for the container alignment. That means everything inside the container should be centered, which is fine. And what we want is to fit width to the content, but it's still taking this much height because we have set the minimum height. For example, let's say I try to set 300 now, or if I remove it, right, now it's taking its width to the content. I want it to be around 694, or at least to the to have this proportion according to the page height, right? So to do that, what I'll do is, for the group A, I will say this is fine, but for the hero section, take the height but add a top padding of, let's say, 100 pixels and the bottom padding of 100 pixels, right? So this is how it looks now. Height is calculated from the content but with a padding. Now it's much nicer and it will appear as centered. If I go and run here, you will see that okay, now it's much better. I can add more spacing here, but the issue here right now, you see the image shifted, is it's going under the header. That we will fix later, but let's try to calculate the top and bottom. You know, padding is 148 and 196. Now you want it to be reduced on smaller devices, or and when this text group width will be reduced, then you don't want this much spacing, but we will cover that in responsiveness. Here I am going to do is, what I am going to do is, for the group A, let's add a top uh, padding of 148. It was, I think, let's round it off, so it's 150. Sorry, not for this section, this group, but this one, 150, and it was 200. So yeah, I think now it should exactly like the design. As you can see here, this looks much better, right? This is, I think, as per the design. Yeah, again, it's going under the header, that we don't want, but we'll fix that later. But for now, I think this is fine. Okay, let's go to the next section. I think we are done with the hero section. Now let's go to the next section here. This is, everything is in a horizontal container. There are these cards which are which are repeated 5 times, so maybe we can have a reusable element here, uh, something like that. But let me quickly design this one and show you the how it was done. Okay, so this section is designed in Bubble. This is how it looks in the design, and yeah, exactly the same thing in Bubble. Let me quickly show you how I did that. I think this is again the repetitive work from the parse 2 section header and this one. as there are actually two groups here. First is this one, the other is this one. If you talk about this one, then it's a one text which is a body, and then this is another text which is not body but which is body, but it's a different color. So what we can do with the style is let let's call it body, which is fine, and let's call it body but use a different color, which you can either use same as in design or same the primary color, or use the primary color. So this is fine. Sorry. For the above group, we have these cards which are, which are in a horizontal or row, row group. If I go to the layout, it's row with gap of 30 in between. Everything is horizontally aligned, and the other thing I have defined here, which we have, as we have done in the previous section, that the maximum width that it can take is 1120, right? Not beyond that. If it's going beyond that, then there is it will not align with the whole page layout. So if I try to see it here, as you will see, everything is aligned, right? It's not going beyond 1120. If we add more cards, it will take them to the next line, not going beyond this. So yeah, this is it. Now I will quickly design the rest of the page, and then I'll explain the things. They are pretty much same. There is nothing going to be new here, so I'm going to quickly design this one, and then I will explain it to you like how rest of the things were designed here. Okay, to finish this off, and in this section, I will, as I said, that I will show you the complete thing. So this is the landing page done as we were seeing in the design. Um, Let me quickly go through the sections, so yeah, let you know it's pretty much the same work that we did for the header or for this section. It's playing with implementing bubbles layout using groups, group layouts, and yeah. So just let me quickly go through it. Here is your section. For example, I think in previous sections I have already explained up until this point. So let's quickly go here. For this section, this is I think this one. Again, it has two groups, two horizontal row layout group. One is this one, the other is this one, and within each group we will have the parent group. It's to minimize, is to contain the length, and it is a column group because it will have two, you know um, two rows up and down, um, uh, first one and the second one. And the group E is the first one, which will be a row group with this item and this item on the right. As you can see, that's how things are laid out. So and if we talk about the bottom group here, one would be here, one group for this design. This is one of the fixed things in this project that I have done because I wanted this layout. It could have been done with negative margin or padding, which is not a good idea, so I used it as a fixed layout. Otherwise, everything is pretty much dynamic. You will have to use at some points the fixed layout where you see that there is, it's not going to change, or maybe it will not affect the responsiveness. In this case, maybe this image will not fit in some mobile devices. This whole group will not fit in some devices. In that case, we will apply some um, conditional layouts, like changing the width or reducing the image size or something. But I'll explain this in the responsiveness demo of the same landing page that we have developed here. But for the rest of the groups, it's pretty much the same thing. There is nothing new here. You guys can, um, upload the template of it on our agency's template on Bubble Marketplace, and there you can go and have a look on this template.